Welcome to SPK Speak Sports. On our station, we talk about baseball and sports news, from the most recent stories to the throwbacks. Listen now to Scott, Paul, and Kelly on SPK Speak Sports as they hit the ball out of the park.
You hit the ball out of the park. Speak Sports.
Scott here.
I'm Paul.
I'm Kelly.
We are SPK Speak Sports. And guys, a little surprised. I thought we were done last week, but I had a brainstorm today. Brought to you by Mutton Buster Beer. You know how they always say about, alcohol, drink responsibly? Well, for these guys, I think you go, on a daily basis, don't be a glutton. Drink just one mutton.
Hi-yo!
And mutton, Don Sutton's favorite. Sutton for mutton. Also, if we want to go there, 91-year-old Dick Button likes mutton. Two-time Olympic speed skater.
Yeah.
I'm done. It's all yours. So, let's go.
Well, you want to talk baseball?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that what's going on now,
and
baseball?
we didn't address this. It just happened, but maybe it was osmosis. We're all wearing black for the Houston Astros. Bye-bye.
Rest in peace, cheaters.
Get out of here.
Well, we still have the National League Championship Series pending. The American League World Series representative has already been decided. Congratulations to Tampa Bay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the Dodgers-Braves tonight?
Well, I picked Atlanta to be in the series on episode 1.
Yeah, Dan.
I'm getting a restraining order.
And so I'm going to stick with them, even though I think Dodgers have a better roster. But
You got to stick with your initial pick.
yeah, I don't want to be
18 months ago when we started this thing, you said Atlanta. So you got to don't be hedging.
Yeah, so they got Game 7, and I think that Atlanta's got a pretty good young pitcher. If he gets the heebie-jeebies, well, then Atlanta's going to be in trouble.
There are a few young pitchers that'll be out there tonight. Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin will both be working for the Dodgers. Ian Anderson for the Braves.
For the Braves.
Scott, you have an opinion on this game?
Well, I picked it like you, the Yankees and the Dodgers. The Yankees are out, right?
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah.
So I got to stick with the Dodgers. Why change now? I was going to make a prediction for the World Series, and I was going to say the Rays in 6. And then when we were talking, I go, I can't do that. I picked the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Dodgers is like you.
Yeah.
We don't want to turn into politicians here. You got to stick with what you're saying.
That's right.
You got to walk the talk.
Yeah.
So
I think picking a single game in baseball is a fool's errand. A game can go either way on any given day, to use the cliche.
Hey, we have no idea. My heart is for the Dodgers. I want, like I said last week, the most watched series would have been Houston and the Dodgers for obvious cheating reasons.
Right.
The best game would have been the Dodgers and Tampa Bay. So that's the best World Series. So
This
that's
NLCS has been a great series. The Dodgers were down 3-1. They came back, tied it up now 3-3. This has happened only 17 times in Major League Baseball, where in a 7-game series, someone has come back from 3-1 to 3-3. And in 14 of those 17 times, the team that had been down 3-1 won the series.
Well, when you look at this series, the thing that stands out to me is the big scores.
Oh.
I think the Dodgers were losing one game 7-0, 8, and they lost 8-7.
They were down 7-0. Later in the game, I was like 8-4.
And then the game, they scored a bunch of runs.
11 in the first. They continued that on in the second.
Yeah, and
the
then
game after.
Atlanta came back the next day, and they had a pretty good blowout game, So you wouldn't think with the pitching that those type of things would happen, but that's why you don't know.
People always say, what's the key to the series? Some people are saying, oh, that Mookie Betts catch in right field and on the run, and then throwing out Ozuna at the plate because Ozuna didn't actually tag up. Originally, he was called safe, but he clearly he'd left the base and never did go back to tag.
Yeah.
So he was out. That was a turning point, perhaps, in this series. But I just think, if you want a turning point, there's a turning player. And it's Corey Seager. He's been phenomenal.
Yeah,
He's
after
got
an
five,
injury year,
five
after an injury
homers,
year last year.
11 RBIs with 1 game left.
Yeah.
And that's the most that anybody's hit home run wise and RBI wise in a NL championship series.
Yeah.
And another key to this series, scoring 3 on Max Fried in the first inning yesterday was huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that kind of demoralized the Braves because he has been their guy, their ace, their most reliable pitcher, and
They got by him.
yeah.
He held it together after that. He
Yes.
pitched great, but he got a 3-run lead, and you think you're gonna hold that. Also, along with Corey Seager, Randy Arozarena. No, that's not it. I said, you got to get this right. Arozarena.
Yeah.
I got it. Randy.
Yeah. Tampa Bay.
321
The R
with
Dog.
4 home runs for Tampa Bay. Yeah.
He's got 7 in the postseason,
postseason.
and that's just in the last 2 series.
Yeah.
He
and
didn't
he's a
play
guy
much in the first.
no one ever heard of, and you might never hear of him after this. But
I have
think
a
he's
feeling
pretty
we
good.
will.
Yeah, with Tampa, yeah.
Hey, just having this moment,
Yeah,
being the MVP of the
Right,
championship series.
Right.
Also, I don't know if this had anything to do with his being traded from the Cardinals to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's real good at picking these guys up and drafting and whatever. But he was on the Cardinals last year, didn't play a whole lot. And after the Cardinals beat the Braves, the Cardinals manager goes on a tirade in the clubhouse, winning. I mean, it was good, but had a few words, and all this. And Arozarena posts that on his Facebook, not thinking there would be some negative feedback because he's from Cuba, doesn't speak the lingo, and doesn't know about social media.
Right.
So I don't know if that had anything to do with the trade, but hey, Rays don't care. They're just glad he's on their team.
It worked out.
So
the bottom line is, all you need is 1 run more than the other team and win 1 more game than the other team, and it's done.
I do like it because I got a stake in this game because I want the Dodgers to win. And I don't have a stake in it as in betting, and all this stuff, but just my heart wants to have them beat Tampa Bay because I think, the Braves get in, they're a good team, obviously.
But wait, you got to remember, every time Paul talks to you about the Dodgers, you tell him, well, when's the last time the Dodgers won? The Angels won in 2002. If they win, I really think the Dodgers will win the World Series if they win.
Well,
today.
let's hope so. I
And
just
then
want
you won't
Paul to be happy.
You won't be able to use
I want
that.
Paul
So
to
think
be
about
happy.
it.
He's going to burn my house down. I'm
about it.
directly across the street.
That
You're off
goes
to the
away.
side.
That goes away. You have to have another line. You can't.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a 30-year-old son, and since he's been alive, the Dodgers have never won the World Series. So, what am I going to do?
I do have to mention one other thing. One of the highlights for me, because I'm always looking for quirky things, I wanted so badly for Will Smith to come out on top, pitching against Will Smith. Will Smith against Will Smith. And Will Smith did come out on top.
I bet on Will Smith.
Somebody was going to win on that
was awesome.
match.
And that was the first time ever that players of the same name had faced each other in a postseason game.
Now that'd be a winning bet.
And what an odd name, too. Will and Smith.
I'll say Will Smith is going to be the hero. This at bat, So,
hey, on this date, 2 things. 1950, on this date, Connie Mack retires after 50 seasons.
87 years old.
87 years old.
Wow.
He has the most career, obviously 50 years, the most career wins as a manager and losses. And he was under 500. So, hey, that 50-year contract ran out, and it's like, you got to go, Connie, because you're under 500.
I love seeing. I saw a picture of him in the dugout or standing on the steps of the dugout in his last season, probably, maybe not the last day, but he's there in a business suit.
Yeah, I was dressed in civvies.
Managers didn't wear uniforms.
Yeah.
I wish that had been the case when Tommy Lasorda was managing the Dodgers, because either put him in a business suit or a muumuu, but not in a uniform. It was a disgrace. Sorry, Tommy. I know you watch.
But he would waddle out there, you know.
Yeah.
And you just see him waddle out there, and he would be shaking his head, and he had that Dunlap disease where his belly hangs Dunlap's over his. But he's a character, though, you know.
No question. One other thing that happened on this date in 1977. Hold like this. Like this. Reggie hits 3 home runs against the Dodgers.
Yeah. Well, and who was that against?
Well. No. Here. Wait a second. You guys have seen Trouble with the Curve, right?
Yeah.
Remember the ending?
Yeah.
Or not the ending, but during it, and Timberlake asks Amy, whatever her name is, the actress, they're doing trivia stuff, and he asks, who were the 3 pitchers? And he goes, that's all you got? And she answers with Hooten, Sosa, and Huff.
There you go.
So,
Charlie Huff.
Anyway, a couple of things that happened on this date. All right. Can we get into how to make the game a little better?
Okay. With this Corona thing?
Yeah. First of all, I just got to interject one other quick thing. And this bugs the heck out of me. And I'm sorry, politically correct, whatever you want. Last year for the Boise Hawks, our rookie A-ball team, they had peanut-free night. They didn't sell any peanuts for people who had allergies. I'm sorry, I don't have a peanut allergy. So if I wanted to go to that game, why am I penalized? Because little Johnny here has a peanut allergy. His father, can't say, well, little Johnny, we're going to go to the game tonight, but remember, you have peanut allergy, so you're going to have to select from the other 87 food and drink items.
Right.
So Scott, if he wants to, can have peanuts. Well, that's a Rockies affiliate. And okay, it was one night, but are they going to have more? Well, probably, possibly. Their AAA team the same year, back on the East Coast, every night was peanut-free night. And they had a little contest. Hey, how can we rework the take me out to the ball game so we don't have peanuts and Cracker Jack? So they had a little contest, and somebody won. I forgot what it was. But are you kidding me? For the whole, one day, I won't go, and so little Johnny can feel, happy. But the whole season, I mean, we don't have other things to make this game better or whatever.
The irony was that the pitcher that night got shelled.
So I don't know if that makes the game better one way or another, but it's just, I think we got other things that will make the game better, such as?
Well, let's see. So we have the COVID this year, right? And next year,
I hope so.
We don't know, how that is going to play out, because there might be a vaccine, there could be other things. So people now didn't get to go to the game. So now baseball is going to have to try to get people back in the game when they're able to open up the stadiums.
Vaccine night.
There you go. Yeah.
Solved.
So So that could
free
be,
masks for everybody.
Yeah, free mask and vaccine night here at Dodger Stadium.
And jamming a Q-tip up everybody's nose and making sure you're okay.
Yeah. So I think
only a test.
I think when people go through something and they're able to go without it. So a lot of baseball fans have gone, went on with their lives and they're no baseball. Sometimes they just find other things to do.
But other baseball fans are having withdrawals.
Yeah,
and they
like
need the fix.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think we're at a point where there are fewer baseball fans than there are individual team fans. And I think, you guys agree with me because you guys are both Angels fans.
Right.
And it's frustrating being on the outside looking in during the playoffs. And when your team's not in there, and of course we have 30 teams now, when your team's not in, what is there really to watch if you're not a baseball fan?
And I guess I'm more of an Angels than I am a baseball fan now. I'm more of a baseball fan from years past, the history of the game and whatever. I would watch more other than Angels games if they were more paced well. My slogan has always been, there is nothing sports-wise better than a well-played, well-paced baseball game. Conversely, to me, there is nothing worse than a poorly played and or elongated baseball game. Right. So just a couple of things, guys, just to make it, just to pick up the pace a little bit. I mean, And I understand it's all about the money. You're going to have less time for people to go get beer or whatever.
Right.
But I'm sorry, are you owning a team to put the best team on the field and for all 30 teams to make baseball better? Because if you got to say, well, we're going to lose money because the games are shorter. No. You're not going to lose money. You're going to have less profit.
Right.
You're still going to make money. You're not going to make as much.
And you're going to lose fans.
Well, here's the thing. Between innings, I timed this the other day a couple of times. Between innings, 3 minutes now. Between the last pitch, not even the last pitch, but when the team that's out in the defense crosses the foul line to go in their dugout. 3 minutes. If you cut that just 1 minute and made it 2 minutes, you're looking at cutting 17 minutes off of a 9-inning game because you're not going to play the ninth inning unless you go extra inning. Yeah. That's 17 minutes right now. College goes 2 minutes. So if you're a professional, do you think you can do 2 minutes if college kids can do it?
Sure.
And then colleges, they throw 5 pitches. So can we go down from 8 to 6 maybe? Yeah. To make sure we can get it in 2 minutes?
The college game, though, they're not worried about getting 3 Snoop Dogg Corona beer commercials in during the break.
But Paul, I worked at a couple radio stations, and they used to have slogans, never more than 6 minutes in an hour. Well, they'd raise the rates on the big dogs. GMC can't pay more rate. To make up for the 2 commercials that you're losing, you just raise the rates. Coca-Cola can't pay more rate. Also, it's more beneficial because you've only got 4 advertisers in there instead of 6 each half inning.
Well, it's not just the commercials, but it's the way the game is being played. You have guys trying to foul off pitches. You've got, it's a whole different game.
You know how when you go to a minor league game and between innings they'll have tricycle races around the bases and all that kind of stuff? Mm-hmm. It's not going to work in the major leagues, and it's not going to work probably for a televised game. But what if you did something else, like public discipline of umpires who've blown calls and that sort of thing? It
Shaming?
Works for me. Yeah, public shaming.
Yeah.
Umpire shaming. Well, anyway, that would take just that 1 minute less. It's 2 minutes. Boom, boom. It's like a video game. How many people out there are 17, 20, 25, 30, 12, and they're doing video? They like this stuff.
Yeah,
well, now you pick up the pace. You lose 17 minutes. And another thing, it would be, by rule, looked it up, you have to throw, once you get the ball back with nobody on, you have to throw the next pitch in 12 seconds. They weren't doing that. It was anywhere from 20 to 25 seconds. Doesn't sound like much with nobody on. So let's say they throw 300 pitches in a game, just an average, okay? Maybe 120 of those pitches are with nobody on. 120 times 5 seconds is another 10 minutes. That's 27 minutes with less in between innings, and guys throwing a pitch 5 seconds, not even 12 seconds, but close to
Scott,
15, 16
when you're watching an Angels game, do you feel the same way about the speed of the game?
Yes.
Or is it, you do? Okay. Because I don't. I have to admit, the pace doesn't bother me so much when I'm watching my team, because when I watch my team, I don't care how long the game is. My reaction at the end of the game is, let's play another one. I'm Ernie Banks. Let's play 2.
Well,
but are we speeding it up that much?
But it is. I have to admit and confess that if I'm watching, not necessarily the Angels, but if I'm watching, just a random game, the slow pace is going to probably have me flipping back and forth to a different channel because there's a lot of downtime.
Well, I want the Angels to lose in 2 hours and 40 minutes, not 3:10.
Well,
and I'll be on my way.
And also, I don't like this. I don't like the videos, the replay stuff for the umpires.
Oh, I love the replay.
No, see what that
Well,
does
he
to-
likes it from the
I know.
other night.
He likes it.
Mookie Betts does that. That call doesn't get reversed on his
I know, but
on his infield
but
single.
but the more important thing it's taking the fan out of the game. Fans are sitting there, they're doing this like Scott says, and they're not a participant in anything. They don't see the managers come out. They don't see the humanness. Everything's technology. Baseball wasn't built that way. It was built on kill the umpire. Oh, there was the umpire. The managers people knew them. They were characters. You knew the umpires. That's gone, and when that disappears, see, when I watch a game, I feel I don't feel. I feel like one of the cardboard cutouts. I don't feel there.
Well, I agree with you. The characters aren't there. I think there's a lot of soul that's missing from the game now.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'll beat a dead horse one more time. That 10 minutes for the pitches and 15 seconds on 25, and the 17 minutes less for commercial breaks. That's 27 minutes right there. That's a lot. It's not, we're going to intentionally walk this guy. That's going to save 20 seconds every 4 games. You know, that means nothing. Yeah. And you're not asking anybody to do anything differently, really. You just get off the field, get your bat, get going, throw your 5 or 6 pitches instead of 8, and here we go. And if there's no more Garcia Parras stepping out of the box every time, readjusting their batting gloves and all that. And the other thing is, this stat just threw me, that 23% of the time this past season, all teams struck out. Combined 23% of the time, once out of 4 times, and there have been more foul balls hit in the last 4 seasons than there have balls put into play.
Well,
so foul ball, home run, walk.
I may be in a minority on this.
How do you fix it, though? How do you fix it?
I don't know how you fix that, but I do know how you fix in between innings and how quickly you throw the next pitch.
Well, you probably
rules. Well, I don't think that baseball is built around that. Baseball's never had a clock. Baseball has, the beauty of baseball is that it's on its own time. And
well, I agree. I don't like the time part either. But the game just seems to kind of, I don't know if the pace of it is.
There is no pace. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. There's got to be a better pace.
I disagree. I think that the pace of baseball is, to use an expression in vogue, it is what it is. And I'm not sure that it's, very different from games that I saw as a kid. And again, if it's my team, I'm really into it. But I used to be into it no matter who. And I think there's a bigger issue at stake here. The reason that people are not baseball fans, but they're individual team fans these days, is because we've dehumanized the opposition. We've done it across society. We've done it in our politics. We've done it in our, college football fandom. We're doing it in baseball. In the old days, you had visiting teams come into town, and there were players on the team you couldn't wait to see because they were heroes. If Brooks Robinson was going to be in Anaheim, I wanted to go to Anaheim to watch a game, even though I wasn't a fan of the Orioles or the Angels.
Right.
If Willie Mays, he played for the Giants. I hated the Giants, but I loved Willie Mays because he was human. He was a say-hey kid, and he was just such a great player. And in those days, it just seems that you got to know the players on the other team a little bit better. I think that the media did a better job of it. I think we didn't have so much that we were, distracted by during baseball season.
And
there's so many things going on.
You're right on that, because when they had the interleague play, I think that hurt the game. Because
I don't like it.
Because I would want to see the Yankees come in. I would want to see Billy Martin. I'd want to see Nettles. I would want to see Reggie when he was there.
It's diluted. It doesn't make it as special.
And I don't want to see the Pittsburgh Pirates, who I don't know. Not anything against the Pirates. They have a great tradition and everything. And I'm sure you want to see the National League. You want to see the Reds. You might not want to see the Chicago White Sox because there's no history there. So they diluted that.
And it makes the All-Star game less special, and it makes the World Series less special.
Exactly.
The leagues were competitive with each other. There was a pride. In the 60s, the American League couldn't beat the National League. I mean, they played to win. I mean, you saw Rose hit Fosse and almost kill him in a destroy his career.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was that rivalry.
Scott asked for what's the solution, and I have a solution. The commissioner has to contact SPK Speak Sports and make us the brain trust. And we will fix it for you.
We don't just suggest, we will do this. We will implement it. You mentioned also about going down to see players. And even as an adult, and this is probably like just 20 years ago, I read an article in the LA Times, pardon the expression, about Jim Morris. This was before the movie The Rookie came out with Dennis Quaid. And I read this stuff. It's like, unbelievable. I took down the article and went down into the right field stands for a game. They were coming to Anaheim and got his autograph on that paper. Jim Morris. I mean, this is before the movie, and it's not quite as big a deal because the movie came out. Now it's a heck of a thing, you know. So I agree with you on that. One other thing, the ball needs to be put into play, or at least attempt to be put into play.
Right.
And we had a thing with your coach from Cal Poly Pomona about the plate 17 inches. We need batters to be thinking about swinging 19 inches.
Yeah.
If it's here on the inside or here on the outside, maybe you swing and try and put the ball in the play. Don't try to hit a home run, because this guy here, Pedro Guerrero,
Yeah.
this guy hit balls that were bounced in the dirt before getting the home plate, and he did it more than once. He was a swinger.
As a pitcher, I agree with you. As a hitter, I disagree with you.
Well, I know. I'm just saying these guys nobody's swinging at the first or even second pitch. Let's get deep in the count. That's another thing with Morton the other day. 66 pitches. It turned out to be the right decision. I'm sorry. He's going along great, and he can't pitch one more inning and maybe get up to 82.
Well,
66 pitches.
That's not the readout says.
That's right. All analytics.
I know, yeah.
You know, the readout says, hey, you can only go so many times and blah, blah, blah. It's not like, hey, I felt he could do it. He's a competitor, blah, blah, blah.
Guys, we can solve some more of this next week.
Yeah, but speaking of college football.
Yeah, we do have to do to.
Okay.
We are going to do.
I just want to tell everybody Notre Dame's number 3. They barely squeaked by Louisville, but
What's the score?
I think it was 12-7, and there were no home runs in that game. So, so they're number 4. I think Ohio State's number 5 and hasn't played
yet,
anybody. Right. And the Pac-12 and the Big Ten hasn't started. And then Boise State starts next week.
Saturday.
And everybody up here in Idaho is. So, so football's coming around. We'll be talking about some of that stuff. And what was
the big thing for me, I just saw the headline that South Carolina beat Auburn for the first time in 87 years.
Wow.
I don't remember that, 87, because I was just a kid. I was 3 or 4 at the time. But 87 years.
Yeah,
so I hope they socially distanced that night in wherever it was played.
Chronologically distant.
Well, we got 2 minutes left. Do I have time for the Bud Ferrillo story?
Is it
I
2
got to
minutes?
do the Bud Ferrillo story, okay? Is that okay, or you guys have something else? Okay, so Bud Ferrillo is one of the writers for the Examiner, I think, in the Times, the Steamer. Nice enough to write a story about me and the ball boy when we went on one of our road trips in '61. And so he passes away a number of years ago, 10, 15, and I go to his memorial, and his son tells a story that Bud Ferrillo and a friend of his go down to San Diego to cover the Ken Norton-Muhammad Ali fight. They go down the day before the fight, and they end up in Tijuana. Well, guess what they do? Drink. And they get smashed. And they go, you know what we need to do? We need to drive back to the parking lot of the arena in San Diego. We'll sleep it off. We'll wake up and we'll, go see the fight, and I'll, type it up and all that. They wake up. They have slept so long. The fight has come and gone. The fight's done. It's that next night. It's over. Bud Ferrillo goes up to the Examiner and from a teletype transcribes, recreates the fight. And he wins like the Hearst Sports Story of the Year award. I'm sure that's all true because I don't think his son would have told that at a memorial. So anyway, what is that? I don't know what that is. We got 1 minute.
We got a lot of exciting things coming up on SPK Speak Sports.
Well, let's hear it.
Even though baseball season is winding down, Kelly loves college football. We also have some special things scheduled. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be interviewing a longtime sports writer and author, Jim McConnell, and he's going to tell us about this book that he has written on Bobo Newsom, baseball's traveling man, and what a character that guy was. And we're hoping that Jim will really bring Bobo back to life because it was quite a sensation.
Okay. All right, we're getting down close to the cup, and hey, good. Last time you'll see this. We're out of here.
Bye. Bye.
You hit the ball out of the park. Speak Sports.